one. I can't wait to, you know what? All right, I'm ready. So we're talking about the co-main event here. Aljamain Sterling came in at 134 and a half. Yes, this is my daughter's helmet for any of you asking. That's why it doesn't fit. Petr Yan came in at 134 on the dot. So both guys coming in under the 135-pound limit, and Aljamain Sterling got really emotional on the scales today. Started breaking down, started crying, got himself together and screamed, "Let's go." We've talked about his physique all week. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been raving about this man's physique and the kind of condition and shape that he is in. You know what? There's some people that have said some super mean things about Aljamain Sterling this week. Like, I totally get that nobody liked the way he won the belt. I totally get that a lot of people thought he was faking when the fight got pushed back. They thought he was trying to hold on to the belt. But, like, guys, you realize he had, like, a spinal surgery. He had a legitimate disc in his back replaced. And as somebody who has literally worked with people that have gone through those kinds of procedures, I can tell you it's one of the most difficult things on the planet you could ever come back from. The doctors told him he would never compete again. So calling the guy soft for getting emotional when he is challenging and or defending, however you want to call it, for a UFC world title, when doctors, medical professionals told him that if he had the surgery, he would never be allowed to compete again. Going through all that, working his way up to where himself, his camp, they think he's in the best shape of his life and he's better than he was before, being able to actually get up on that scale again for the chance to compete for UFC gold, like, he's not soft for crying. Like, that's, you know, if some you call, like, football players who win the Super Bowl and they're crying with their families, you call them soft after that. Like, that's what this is. Like, just because we see it, you know, once a month in the UFC, someone challenging for a title, like, you gotta realize they work so hard for this. Don't forget the human element of this, because Aljamain Sterling at the end of the day is a person. And he has worked his ass off to be here, and he has been through hell with the entire world, with the entire fan base, telling him that he got it illegitimately, telling him that he never deserved it, telling him that he's going to get killed the next time he steps in there. Like, he's gone through all that, proved everybody wrong just to be here. And now he's got a shot to make it right. And he came correct. He's in the best damn shape we have ever seen him in, and that is saying something, because he's always in incredible shape. So everybody just pump the brakes on the slander of Aljamain Sterling, whether or not he wins this fight this weekend. Don't dehumanize the man here. Now, Petr Yan came in classic Yan. The dude's in crazy good shape, as always. I don't want to take anything from him. I know I'm raving a little bit on Aljamain Sterling. I want to give Yan his dues. But again, the difference is Aljamain looks crazy better than we've ever seen him. Yan always looks like he looks today. But he looks fantastic. He looks fantastic. He got up there, though. He did this weird scream and flex thing, and he sounded like a dog squeaky toy. Head over to the UFC's Twitter page. They have tweets of Aljamain Sterling screaming, "Let's go" on the scale, and then they have the tweet of Petr Yan screaming after the weigh-ins, and they muted his. They took the audio off of Yan's clip on Twitter because he sounds so ridiculous doing it. Not that that has anything to do with the fight, but I thought it was hilarious. Not sure what happened to his vocal cords when he went for that one today. When they face off at the ceremonial weigh-ins, both guys jawing nonstop. Like, this is it, folks. Like, I know it's the co-main event, but this is the main event. It's going to be hard to one-up this one. The bad blood, the storyline, like, it's all built in here. It's ready to go. Now, I've got the over 3.5 here, minus 165. I laid 3.3 units on it to win 2. And then I've got a half unit on Aljamain Sterling by decision. That was plus 950 is Aljamain Sterling by decision. That's down to plus 900 right now. Most books have it somewhere in the ballpark of plus 600, plus 650. Over at Superbook Sports, you can still get a plus 900 on Aljo by decision if you want to go there. Now, I am exclusive to Superbook Sports. They are my sponsor. But there's another book out there that has Aljamain Sterling by split decision at plus 2,800. Just saying. I may have a quartered unit on it. I'm not allowed to talk about it or tell you where to go get it, but it's there, and I may have put my money on it. But what we've got right now is a interesting late move here. Money has been kind of chipping in and away at Aljamain Sterling ever since he hit up at plus 400. He got all the way down to plus 330, and now it's a landslide on Jan. Aljamain Sterling is all the way back up to plus 400 over at Superbook Sports. He was plus 375 earlier in the week, chipped down to plus 330, and then launched all the way back up to 400. Guys, this is a spot where I've got 3 units burning a hole in my pocket because Rosenstruck got canceled, and I am very tempted. I'm going to hedge off of some of my investment here for Rocky Pennington, so like my pockets are jingling a little bit, and there's not a lot of action on this card that I really love. This number is stupid. Like, this is where, like, I'm going to take the opposite approach. I know last fight I said Hamzat is real, value boys be damned, just pick the winner. Like, I'm taking the exact opposite stance on this one. I understand I'm contradicting myself, so don't think I don't know that, but I'm doing it. This fight was lined at Pick'em for the first fight. Minus 110 either side. That means the bookies didn't know who was going to win this thing. They felt it was close enough to warrant a minus 110 price tag on either side of it. They let the bettors figure out where this thing was going to go. Now, granted, Aljamain Sterling did not look up to part that night. He talked about having some issues. The doctors told him he wasn't prepared to fight. He had a weird dump that his gas tank completely emptied by the second round. That's not normal Aljamain Sterling. If you've seen anything from his history, if you've watched his other fights, that's not Aljamain Sterling. So something absolutely was wrong. If you want to take that piece out of the puzzle, then okay, Petr Yan started taking over like he does always late in fights and was mauling Aljamain Sterling. That's fine. But I can't wrap my head around making Petr Yan more than a minus 175 favorite. Minus 175, minus 200, like you want to make him a favorite, I get it. But minus 500 is significant. That is stupid. That's a gigantic number, especially if Aljamain Sterling comes in with a better game plan, especially if he comes in better shape and manages his gas tank better. I think this fight is going to look much more like the minus 110 price tag we saw earlier the last time these guys fought. And I talked about this with the Brandon Moreno fight with Figueiredo, where they overcorrected on the number. As soon as Brandon Moreno won the one fight, he got a submission. It was a weird circumstance. He's like a minus 200 favorite the next fight. It was a pick'em fight all 3 times. It should have been a pick'em price tag all 3 times. But people out there snagged plus money on Davis and Figueiredo because the market overcorrected on it. That's exactly what's happening here. Petr Yan is incredible. I know he's amazing. I am not slandering him. I'm not looking to fade him. But plus 400 on Aljamain Sterling in this fight is a gift. Like, Hamzat Chimaev is a guy that came out of left field that is destined for the belt, and it's just a matter of time before he gets there. That's a totally different story to me than 2 competitors, the number 1 and the number 2 guy in the division, where we're honestly not sure which one should hold the belt at this point. I know all of you think that you're positive Petr Yan is the one who should hold the belt, but Yan was never like a Hamzat to me. Yan's a guy that I think can have some spots where he gets taken advantage of by somebody with the right skill set, the right game plan, and the right frame. And to me, Aljamain has those pieces. So plus 400 is a crazy number. I'm going to get involved. I'm already involved. It was just a half unit for the decision prop. The way Aljamain Sterling's talking about submitting Petr Yan, it's got me a little nervous about that, decision prop. If Aljo comes out here, pulls off this upset, wins the fight, God forbid if he does it in the second round or something like that, and I lose my over 3.5 bet, like, I would like eat my glasses, because I would have called the upset of Aljamain Sterling but not had any money on it to where I actually benefited from it, and then he'll ruin my over bet, so I'll actually lose money on the prospect. I don't want to be in that spot, and I do think this number is stupid, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but yeah, I'm going to get invested in Aljamain Sterling. I'll be one of the few. Tinfoil bite cap.